how to choose a secure and safe crypto casino.
Hi guys, welcome to this panel. We're going to be about 15-20 minutes. We're going to talk about safe crypto security, blah, 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 blah. How to choose a secure and safe crypto casino. Now, I'm going to turn to my panel here and I'm going to introduce them. So my name is Kahn. I am the chief squirrel at Timgu. Lovely to be here and thank you for having me. And over to Jean-Michel, who is sitting here as the first one.
Anything? Hello, 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 hello.
Yes.
Test. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for taking the time to talk about security in the morning of a hangover. I'm Jean-Michel. I'm a fintech consultant, been in the cybersecurity space since I had hair, and seen Bitcoin since I had hair.
And over to Miro.
Hello everyone, nice to see you all here. Thank you for joining our panel. I'm Miruna. I am the head of affiliates for Satoshi Gaming Group. We are one of the biggest crypto operators on the market. We operate the casino Trust Dice, and I'm really excited to have some open conversations about how the crypto world is evolving and how everything is changing. So glad to have you here and looking forward to a great panel.
And last but not least, Mr. Vitali. Is your microphone not working?
It works. Hey guys. Thank you for coming. We have a good company today, so enjoy. I barely can hear anything, to be honest, so it will be funny.
Thank you. I was just told to get the microphone closer. I hope the sound is a little better. But moving on to our first question, and I think the most pertinent question right now. What do you guys think? And Miro, I will start with you. What do you think about what's happening right now after Donald Trump became president with the Bitcoin prices and crypto in general? How do people feel safe or secure about this?
I can maybe try to pitch in. So it's really interesting, and the result that happened in the US will definitely shape the outlook that the world has on crypto. I think that Trump essentially, doesn't matter what we think about his policies and if they're bad or not, he's a businessman at the end of the day, and his close friendship and support by Elon Musk also gives us an outlay on how things are going to change. His vice presidential pick also comes from the business owner side, so we might be able to see a decrease in regulations in that side. There's also the possibility that there will be a reduction on taxes in that sphere, so it could really encourage more crypto traffic coming in from the US, more crypto brands getting launched there. So it will really be interesting to see how it impacts that, and also how Elon Musk's influence on the crypto gaming sphere evolves. Yes, I think so.
Thank you. Vitali, do you have anything to add?
Yes, I can only confirm that I believe everyone sees that Bitcoin up. Congratulations. A lot of the stock exchange markets up. It's very good for the business, of course, because Donald Trump, first of all, he is a businessman, not politician. So I believe that crypto will rise, blockchain will rise, with regulations or not in the United States. So I think good time ahead.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very, very valid point. I think a lot of people are raising that, Donald Trump obviously is a businessman at the end of the day. He's going to try to cut red tape, and he's going to try to make business easier. With Elon on board, that makes a lot of sense. Final comments, over to Jean-Michel.
Final comments. I think the US has been on the fence for a long time. I think China being on the fence for a long time has affected the crypto industry in a way that was, kind of obvious. Yes, mining is legal, no, mining is not. And that leads to a lot of sort of price action, I guess, is the simple way to explain it. But Trump being elected just means that crypto degenerates are not so degenerate anymore, right? And now that the US has basically agreed to make Bitcoin part of their, backed assets, let's just sort of call it that, it means that, all the crazy guys were right.
Yeah, well, I saw an interesting stat yesterday that crypto is now valued at $3 trillion, making it more valuable than the oil industry. So there's definitely going to be some changes with Trump in charge. But moving on, something Miro actually mentioned when she was talking around regulation. Now, obviously, regulation is going to be a big conversation around crypto casinos. We all know that's going to happen one way or another. Is that something we as an industry should take the first steps, self-regulate, try to get a regulatory body, or is it something that we need to wait? We wait for a government or a regulatory body to be created. What's your opinion, Vitali, on that?
I do believe that in terms of the blockchain, crypto, we obviously need to speak about regulations. Because while we all discuss like how good is the industry, how good is the technology, how everything fine, shiny, etc., there are still a lot of the problems. There are still like crime involving blockchain, crypto, etc. And I do believe that, of course, we can have different opinion about gaming regulation, but in terms of the blockchain as technology regulations, I do support it, and I do believe that across worldwide, the sooner it will be regulated, the more good it will be for business and for people itself.
So we have one vote for regulation, we should do it ourselves. I like that. Michel, what's your opinion on this?
I think regulation is definitely a good thing, but it's a good thing from a macro perspective, right? So look at Binance, for example, probably the crypto company out there that gives the least crap about regulation in the world. They made $1 billion profit in their first year of operation, right? And they do that not because they cared about regulation, because they did exactly the opposite. So regulation is what happens when the industry has made enough mistakes to be able to understand what the safe path forward is. And in terms of crypto, put blockchain aside because people haven't figured out blockchain yet. In terms of crypto, we've learned almost all the lessons we need to have learned to be able to set that safe foundation. MiCA is the first example of that, and the US will come in and follow and sprinkle some freedom over that framework.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. So again, before regulation, I'm surprised. Miro, would you like to finish it off?
For sure. Well, I think regulations could prove to be beneficial. Obviously, crypto was perceived before as kind of this Wild West, and there wasn't really any clear definitions. Everybody was flinging it and trying to find their space. I believe now it's more legitimate, and over the years we grew into this big industry, and obviously at some point regulations are going to be necessary. In my country, for example, in Romania, we already are discussing about regulating the entire crypto space and imposing tax and stuff like that. So in the future, it is going to happen, but I think we really have to be careful how we approach this, because crypto in itself, people go there for anonymity, for freedom. It was started as a way to protest traditional forms of banking, of keeping your assets. So I think we still need to protect that aspect. It's important to have that kind of freedom, but also to regulate in a way where we put player protection in the light, where we try to implement responsible gambling in some forms of. I'm actually doing a PhD on responsible gambling and new technologies that could come from there. So I think that's also important to look at.
Yeah, I think you all raised some valid points. There are a lot of risks, obviously, with casinos being unregulated, and there are opportunities with, especially around player safety. And that's what I'm going to touch on a little bit with my next question. So, Miro, I think I'm going to let you follow up here. How do you think that blockchain can improve fairness and security for players at the end of the day?
Well, blockchain is all about, like I mentioned before, anonymity, you know. So people go there in order to stay away from traditional forms of control, you know. But I think a reputable crypto casino, we can look at this. We can try to implement some KYC in some form or another. You know, if you stay completely away from KYC, you risk losing trust of some players. Facial recognition at withdrawal, something that we could also look at. So, yeah, I think it's interesting.
Okay, and same question to you, Vitali. Like, how would you look at fairness and safety for players at the end of the day? Like, what's important?
Yeah, I'm proud to say, a little marketing advertisement. At SOFTSWISS, back at 2016, we already developed a feature called Provably Fair, which basically we're working with the blockchain. And whenever you're playing games with the Provably Fair feature, you always can check a result of any round guaranteed by blockchain. So I do believe it's have not unlimited, but a lot of the potential. Blockchain in terms of the safer gaming, safer betting, etc., provable results, etc. So I would say it's very beneficial for the end customer, for the B2C player. And it's good to have this feature because like it's 100% guaranteed it's safe and secure and fair, of course.
Yeah. Well, SOFTSWISS has sort of been leading that charge ahead, and it's been interesting to follow. One question I have as a follow-up to you is, and I get to you, Jean-Michel, I promise, on the same question, but RNG, so random number generators within casinos, is that something you guys are looking at as well from a player perspective?
The question is RNG, right?
Yeah.
And can you repeat the question?
So using blockchain, are you guys looking at the RNG transactionals as well, or are you sticking to the traditional that we've had for the last 20 years?
No, it's still RNG game, right?
Yeah.
But it's obviously like the result that RNG is correct, that the result is true, that basically the pictures that you show on the slot machine or roulette or blackjack is true. It's blockchain, which is guaranteed because basically the block with the result created before you see the end result on the screen on the mobile phone. That's it.
Thank you. Just one of those random side steps because I can. Jean-Michel, just over to you on the fairness and security as well. And if you want to answer RNG, you can.
I'm going to tap into the RNG as well. I'd first like to disagree with my colleague Maroon. I don't think blockchain is all about anonymity. I think blockchain is all about privacy, and those are two fundamentally different things, right? But in terms of like how blockchain can be used to build trust with the audience, it's relatively simple. If you're a big brand out there, there's very little you can do because you already have trust in the markets, right? So you already dominate, you don't need that. But if you're a brand new operator and you grab your RNG engine and you grab your game engines and you grab your whatever, your proof of reserves, and you stick that on a URL that's publicly available for all of your user base to audit, then if there is something wrong in any of that, the people are going to make it clear, right? So the way you build trust, basically, is by walking into the room naked and your audience know that you aren't holding a gun.
So you're talking about democratization of the data and then making sure everyone can audit, everyone can review. Personally, I agree with that, but Vitali, do you have anything to add? Do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
No, I do agree with him.
Well, hey, that's great. Everyone agrees.
Well,
oh, yeah? No, all right. All right, well, moving on a little bit. Security, we've spoken about it a little bit. We've sort of glanced about it. As a user, how do I know that whatever crypto casino I go to is secure, is safe, and I should play here, and why not over here? What are you guys looking at when you're making those kind of decisions as a company? I think we'll start with Jean-Michel this time, because he never gets to start.
Yeah, sure. So the truth is, unless you have some technical background, it's going to be impossible for you to ever know 100%. The basic rules still apply. If something feels wrong or feels like a scam, then it probably is. There are some other best practice ways that you can look at, which will give you some indication. I'll give you a simple example. Let's say you're on a crypto casino and the crypto casino allows you to connect your MetaMask directly. What stops that crypto casino from sticking something in that API that's going to basically drain your entire wallet? Nothing, so you have to trust them blindly, right? But if the crypto casino instead integrates something like Wallet Connect, which then means you don't have to trust that crypto casino with any of your keys or any of your signatures because everything is passing on to Wallet Connect, then I would look at that as a positive sign. One other example is crypto casinos can show that they actually have the ability to pay out a jackpot in case of a win, right? So if you're going to place a bet of $500,000, how do you know these guys aren't going to rug pull, basically? So if there are proof of reserves on the site, for example, that's another easy way. Okay, hey, listen, these guys have 2.5 million in some smart contract locked, and if I win, I know that's where the cash is going to come from. That's an easy way to do it.
Yeah, Miro?
Can I pitch in? So I think when we speak about that, we have to look at what the brand is doing in terms of KYC, in terms of responsible gambling, in terms of other players' experience. There are also affiliate platforms like Trustpilot or As Gamblers where you can check and actually see what other players' experience has been. On my side, in our case, we also have a live chat on the website where players can share what happened. Customer support is also very important. How accessible is that? If it is 24/7, how many languages? Licensing obviously can be one thing to look at, but all in all, I think
There's no license for crypto casinos, right?
I mean, we operate under Curacao license.
Curacao can license a normal casino, though, not a crypto-specific framework, right?
So just to clear up, there are no crypto license specific, but there are licenses for casinos, which obviously can give a sense of security, but aren't necessarily a safety net. So it is a valid point. Please continue.
Well, when we speak about how to choose good crypto casino, basically I would like to imagine traffic light, right? You have the red sign, which is basically no-go. Red sign is, I have quite different opinion about licensed and unlicensed. First of all, you need to know, is it reputable casino or not? As Azar mentions, you need to see reviews. You need to spend some time, like 1 minute, Googling the name of the website and seeing is there any red signs. If there are red signs, no go. Simple. Then there goes orange one, which is basically proceed with caution. For example, if it's a new casino, obviously it doesn't have any reviews. Obviously, not so many people tried it, so you need to evaluate your risk and proceed with caution. And the green light is obviously if casino is very reputable, if casino, I will not mention names, of course, but if casino have a lot of the sponsorship deals, casino have quite long history on the market, etc., it will be very safe bet, because if someone invests in a lot of the reputation, obviously unlikely something bad happens with you as a player.
Yeah, no, makes a lot of sense, guys, and thank you very much. I have one final question, but I want to ask people in the audience one question before. So, guys, how many of you have actually played on a crypto casino? Can you raise your hand? Well, we got a few people. Okay, so we've still got a fair bit of ways to go, guys. All right. The final question, and it ties in a little bit with where we started about Trump and Elon Musk, is what do you guys believe, and we'll start with Miro here, is the future of crypto casinos? Like, what are we doing next? What is the big revolution that's going to happen? Is it AI? Is it going to be quantum? Is it going to be new games that are going to be built on the blockchain? What do you think is going to make more people in this crowd start playing on our casinos? Miro, after you.
Okay, sure. Ladies first, right?
Exactly.
AI will definitely reshape, and not only iGaming and crypto. I think in the next 5 to 10 years, AI is going to really become important in all verticals and industries. For crypto specifically, maybe NFTs could also be a big thing. But if you would ask me to just choose one, it would be definitely the AI technology. I think. For example, I'm also from an academic perspective, AI is going to become very important in responsible gambling and player addiction behavior. It's going to become more easy to identify such behavior. So a lot of casinos will try to implement tools like that. So it will definitely be interesting to see what happens with that, I think.
Vitali, what's your one thing?
Well, first of all, not a big fan of AI adoption in the iGaming, but it's my personal one. In general, I believe the whole industry in terms of the crypto casinos go to the centralization. There is less and less brands, crypto brands, but only few are huge ones, and I believe the trend will continue. Also, I do believe the crypto casinos have quite good future, because in terms of the, let's say, regulated markets or fiat casinos, you have more costs like transactions cost, payments cost, etc. And crypto, you have much more easier and less costly transactions, which is also a very good sign. So I would say very bright future for crypto gaming in the future.
All right, thank you. And last but not least, Jean-Michel.
So we're in a world at the moment where fiat casinos tie in crypto as a payment method and claim to be a crypto casino. And then we're also in a world where crypto casinos operate crypto natively and tie in fiat as an additional payment method. But we are just broaching regulation. So we're in this beautiful little time of experimentation, which is free. Crypto has its regulation and casinos have their own regulation, but there's no regulation specifically for crypto casinos. But the reason why I like regulation very much is because it makes it very black and white in terms of what is a regulated activity and what is not. And everything that's heavily regulated revolves around centralization. And the beauty of a centralization is if you give away control and you create something trustless, then you fall almost out of any sort of regulatory framework, period, because you don't own it.
All right, well, thank you very much, guys. We're going to wrap it up there, and thank you all, Vitali, Miro, and Jean-Michel, for your opinions on crypto. If anyone wants to talk to them afterwards, we will be hovering around for the next few minutes, so you're more than welcome to come and have a chat with us. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, guys.